So I became a millionaire in my mid-20s, and there were 3 big risks that I took that enabled me to get there. And I'd love to share those 3 things with you so you can learn the lessons that I learned along the way. The first big risk that I took is actually one that every single entrepreneur at some point will have to do also if they intend to grow a business, and that's making your first hire. I still remember the guy's name. His name was Jason. This was, we're going perhaps 10 years in the past now, and my business was taking off. I was starting to make some good money. I was getting to a point where I wanted to do more than I could do with just my allocation of time. And I had that moment of, I think I need to start developing a team now. I need to make my first hire. And I had that moment that some of you will resonate with if you've been through the hiring process, and some of you are yet to experience, but most likely will get to, where you think, well, who do I hire? What am I going to make their job description? Are they going to be busy enough? Am I going to just have someone just twiddling their thumbs? Are they going to enjoy working for me? Are they going to get sick of the boring tasks that I'm trying to get off my plate? All of these questions come into your mind. Well, the reality is you just have to pull the trigger and do it. And it's just one of those things that you start doing it, you learn, you get better, and you make better decisions moving forward. And this amazing guy called Jason decided to work for me. I offered him the job, and I will be forever grateful for that man, because I feel he took a punt on me just as much as I took a punt on him. And what was really exciting and also interesting is that when I first hired Jason, I had that thought of, am I going to have enough for this guy to do, or is he going to be bored? And 6 months, 8 months, 9 months into him being a part of the company, I'm thinking, what could I do without someone in that role? And then you think the same thing for the second hire, and you think the same thing for the third hire. And now we've gotten to a point where we have close to 20 people across all of our departments at the company, and that thought crosses your mind almost every time, but you just learn to take that thought captive and then actually make a good decision, because you know from past experience the way it usually goes. But that is a big risk in the beginning. It's saying, I want this business to grow beyond just me, beyond just one person. And if you don't make that decision, that's absolutely fine. Some people just want to stay with their business quite nice and small and tidy, just a one-man band, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to grow like I did, you have to take that plunge, you have to take that risk of hiring your first person, and you won't realize how good it is out the other end until you make the decision. The second big risk that I remember taking in my business, and at the time, oh my gosh, it truly felt like a monstrous task, and this was to run a marketing conference in London. It's very expensive to do so, and our business, yes, it was in a good spot at that point in 2016. We certainly weren't making millions and millions, but we were starting to do some good revenue. And I just knew if we want to stand out above the crowd, all of the other people that were currently doing the type of thing that I was doing and offering the type of service and products that I was offering, none of them had truly big businesses. And I was looking at the clues in other industries of businesses that have a really good brand presence, that feel like they are the premium solution. And all of the clues seem to point to hosting a live event, getting your clients, getting your prospects, getting your tribe in a room together. The videos, the footage, the branding, the authority that would build seemed like a really exciting thing. But then as I started to plan this conference, I realized how expensive it would be to put it on. It cost nearly £100,000 to run this event, and that for me back then, dipping into my bank account, pulling out 100 grand to host an event back in 2016 felt like a massive deal. But we did it because whenever I make a decision right now, and here's the lesson for you, you need to make decisions with long-term lenses on, not short-term lenses. Short-term lenses would be looking at your immediate situation and making a decision that fits in with that. Whereas what I want to do is make a decision that fits in with the business that I want to have, that is going to take me to where I'm trying to go, that is going to allow me to step into a new version of myself, to up level. And so when I made that decision to scrape the bottom of the bank account to run this event, I'm not thinking I need to immediately get this 100 grand back, which we did, by the way. That event was profitable. We made about 300 grand. So it was a very profitable event, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was, I want that branding, I want that positioning in the marketplace, and I can't tell you what that did for our brand moving forward. We then started moving into making millions per year in revenue for the business because of the pictures, the positioning, the branding, the relationships that were formed at that conference. And the third big risk that I took, and there is a huge lesson in this for having a business that can stand the test of time, that delivers a great product for your clients, and actually has you making sure you're making the right decision for the business and your clients and putting that over your revenue and your profit. Here's what I did. There was a period of time, and from memory, it was around 2017, 2018, and the company had, a bunch of employees at this point, a bunch of hard costs, and it would cost me about £40,000 a month to just run the company, right? We go into a fresh month, and no matter what the company produces that month, I've still got to front £40,000 in hard costs. We were selling one main program at that point in time. So all of our revenue was coming from the sales of one online training program. And I realized one day that the content was actually outdated. We started to get some comments from our clients saying that lessons were missing and things didn't look how they looked in my training videos anymore, and platforms had changed. And I decided that this was more than just needing to update one lesson. In fact, we are selling a program right now that I feel is incomplete. It's not giving our clients the service that they deserve. Now, if you're a business that is just focused on the revenue and not caring so much about the client, then you would just continue selling that course, and slowly over time you would update the course. But for me, it didn't sit right with me. I didn't feel good about selling something that felt like it wasn't what I promised. And so I paused all of our advertising. I said to my entire team, we are cutting our only source of revenue. And everyone thought I was crazy. They said, why are you doing this? I said, because we cannot sell a product that's not right. And so it took us 3 months to replan, recreate, relaunch our course. All the while, I've got £40,000 worth of hard costs to cover. Where did that money come from? My pocket. For those 3 months, I spent £120,000 out of my pocket to cover the cost of the business, while we basically completely rebuilt the company from the ground up. Now, I just view that as an investment. I'm investing that money into the business, and I have the long-term lenses on. Again, I'm not looking at the short term of, but I've got to spend 40K a month. I'm looking at the long term, that this is a multi-million-dollar product, and if I can get it right now, then it's going to pay dividends many times over the 120 that I had to spend. So that's a decision that I suggest you make. Now, for you, you might not experience having to bankroll £40,000 a month for a decision like this, but perhaps it'll show itself in smaller forms. And I cannot stress how important I feel it's been for our business to put the customer and the client first. And I found that the more we do that, the more our company just grows and we attract more of what we're wanting in the business. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you want to watch my next video, which is all about the 7 habits you need to earn $1 million this year, then go ahead and check out this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in a future video.